Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krito Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः गुकारस्वन्धकारो वै ऋकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 मनोबुद्ध्यहङ्कारचित्तानि नाहम् न च श्रोत्रजिह्वे न च घ्राणनेत्रे न च व्योमभूमिर्न तेजो न वायुः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् न च प्राणसज्ञो न वै पञ्चवायुः न वा सप्तधातुर्न वा पञ्चकोशः न वाक्पाणिपादौ न चोपस्थपायुः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् न मे द्वेषरागौ न मे लोभमोहौ मदो नैव मे नैव मात्सर्यभावः न धर्मो न चार्तो न कामो न मोक्षः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् न पुण्यं न पापं न सौख्यं न दुःखं न मन्त्रो न तीर्थो न वेदा न यज्ञाः अहं भोजनं नैव भोज्यं न भोक्ता चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् न मृत्युर्न शङ्का न मे जातिभेदः पिता नैव मे नैव माता च जन्म न बन्धुर्न मित्रं गुरुनैव शिष्यः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् अहं निर्विकल्पो निराकाररूपः विबुद्ध्वा च सर्वत्र सर्वेन्द्रियाणां न चासङ्गतं नैव मुक्तिर्न मे यः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् आत्मषट्कम् or Nirvanashatkam. It is a set of 6 verses generally attributed to Adi Shankara. It's a Nididhyasana Grantha. It's not a Grantha, set of shlokas. The import of these verses is a contemplation on who am I. Who am I has been a much sought question since time immemorial across the human race, because there is always this perplexity about what is my true nature. It is not just in the Indian civilization, but even in other civilizations across the globe, there has been an inquiry about whether I transcend this life. In the sense, do I exist beyond this body? Suppose a person dies away, does that person survive the death and then goes to heaven and all that? So that inquiry about who I am has been there, and then people couldn't find any answers in most cases, and they made assumptions like, yeah, I am a soul and then I go somewhere. So therefore there are theological religions also which have come and said that you survive death, so you go to Father who is in heaven and all that. But in Indian traditions, these enquiries have been more methodical. Okay, so there have been many darshanas. We call them as darshanas. There are Vaidika darshanas, Avaidika darshanas, philosophies. You can translate them as philosophies, which have approached this in many different fashions. Okay, depending on which darshana it is. So there have been darshanas which say that, okay, just like how science looks at it, it is just a combination of different principles that appears as this conscious soul, but it doesn't survive beyond this body, like Charvaka say that. And then there is darshana of Buddhas, the Buddhist, which say it is all sunya. There is no Atma or soul or anything like that. It is underlying everything is shunya. So they have that kind of a conclusion, and they have reasoning that is provided. And then there is this Nayayika Vaiseshika school, which looks at Atma as Anu, Parimana and all that, which Jains also look at it that way. So this, what I'm trying to say is, this enquiry of who am I as an enquiry has been there across the continents. But are these 6 verses actually an enquiry? There is no enquiry, there is no vichara here. Okay, there is no enquiry as such. These 6 verses are only giving you some kind of negating phrases that I am not this, I am not that, whatever, and then just says who I am. Okay. Now, so we cannot take this as an enquiry text per se. So what is it? So that's why I said at the beginning that these are verses for contemplation. So if you have gained a certain knowledge about your Swarupa, then these verses can be used for contemplating. Contemplation as is a form of meditation on a certain understanding. Okay. Avritti or the repetition of a certain understanding. Okay. So that the Swabhavika pravritti can be overcome. What is the Swabhavika pravritti? Like, we'll take that Atrivacha Kodakatta. There is one story used to say in childhood. In those days, these days we haven't heard it much. So this Atrivacha Kodakatta is a very famous story. Kodakatta is Modakam. Okay. So which is what Ganesha has in hand. Okay. So there was one not so smart kind of son of a of her parents. Okay. So this fellow has a memory problem and he also doesn't understand things properly. So he was asked to go and get some korakattai from his aunt's place. So the mother tells the son, go and get your aunt has told me that she will send some korakattai. Go and get it. I need it for some puja. Okay. So he asks, what is it? Again, tell me the name. He says korakattai. She says korakattai. So he can't spell it properly, pronounce it. So she tells him, teaches him how to tell. Then he finally got it, korakattai. So then she says, you will forget. Okay, so just keep telling korakattai, korakattai all the way. And then once you reach, then tell the aunt that my mom asked for korakattai. Okay. So this person, this kid, this fellow, he keeps saying korakattai, 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 and then he's going. Now there is one, on the road, there is one patch of water. So he stream which is flowing. Okay. He wants to jump on to the other side. Okay. So in those days, this atribacha. So this is a phrase that people used to say. So he just jumps saying atribacha. Okay. And then goes to the other side. Like we generally say, right? Oh my God. And then jump like that. He said atribacha and then goes to the other side. Now this korakattai goes away from his mind. This atribacha stays. So as when he continues after the stream, he keeps saying atribacha, atribacha, atribacha. And then he goes to his aunt and says, my mother asked for atribacha, can you give it? Okay. She says, I don't understand what is this atribacha. And then she sends him back. Okay. And then he comes and narrates. And so that is, yes, your story we used to hear in those days. In certain contexts, people used to say, this is called atribacha Karakate story. Now, what has happened here? This is what is called vasana or swabhavika pravritti. Okay. Because you are used to doing certain thing and you are doing it mechanically. Okay. It just continues. Okay. There is no thought. Your mind is used to a certain way. Okay. So a person who gains this knowledge, Atma Jnanam, even when there is clarity, but this jnanam is not always available. Okay, for that everybody. Okay, until a certain certain, what do you say, reversal of the swabhavika pravritti has taken place. So this nididhyasanam or contemplation is a mechanism where you get over this swabhavika pravritti. This atribaja doesn't come. Okay, it remains korakattai all through. So that is what is the intent of these Nirvanashatkam. Okay, whereas suppose you want to use this text for teaching. Okay, somebody who hasn't gained this jnanam yet. So where is the question of contemplation? Now suppose you want to teach this. Is there any other way of looking at it? Okay. So yes, this is called this neti neti. The neti neti is a prakriya. Okay. What is a prakriya? What is a prakriya? Okay. Now this is, I am calling this as a neti neti prakriya. So here you have two words, right? One is neti, other is prakriya. Let's look at these two words. Na iti is neti. Okay. I am not this. I am not this. I am not this. Okay. He is a prakriya. Or you are not this. is neti. Neti word means that. Now, what is this prakriya? Prakriya means a methodology. Methodology to do what? To reveal something. Shastra uses what is called a prakriya. What is it trying to reveal? It is trying to reveal who you are. Okay. Now, when I say it is trying to reveal who you are, there are few assumptions. Okay. One, that you don't know what you are. Then only it has to be revealed. If you already know who you are, there is no reason to reveal, right? Now, do you even think you don't know who you are? Maybe yes, maybe not, right? Because we generally, 99% people say, "Ah, yeah, of course, I know who I am, right? I'm so and so. So I am like fat, short, fair, aged, so and so, right? Ramaswamy. So that is what I am. So where is the question of knowing who I am, right? But then some people say, do I really know what is happening here? My existence started only a few years back. So is it like I was created that time? Or did I, even before this body came into existence, is there something other than that as I existed? Because people say, see, this also, it doesn't come through, just by itself, right? Because somebody says, oh, there is something called soul, there is rebirth. Then I have the seed in my mind, oh, did I really exist before this body came into being? Okay. And then will I survive this body? Is it like there is really this punya papa? Okay, that makes me take another birth. So that samshaya has, or like other religions say, do I survive as a soul and go to heaven? So that doubt can be there to understand, really, am I this body, or is it like I survive this body into something? So that is possible because you heard someone say that. Okay. But other than that, why would anybody have a doubt who I am? Because you take it for granted that I am this person. Okay. So that is an assumption that you have, that you want to understand who I am. Second is, the assumption is the Shastra knows who you are. Okay. That is an authority that you have to give to Shastra. That, oh, it knows me more than what I know myself as. Okay. Then you give that authority to Shastra. Then Shastra has to come and tell you who you are. Okay. Now, why do I even need to know who I am? Whether I survive this body, whether I am this body, how does it really matter? Okay. Should I even know who I am? Generally, if they are going to say, okay, you are, believe that you are a soul, okay, you will go to heaven, then that fear is created. Only if you believe in this God, then you will go to heaven. That fear is created. Now, if you believe that, okay, I am going to survive this body after death, survive death and this body falling off, then I am going to go somewhere. I do want to land up in heaven, nowhere else, hell and all that. So if you are really afraid, and then okay, you can go and believe that God, that is fine. Okay. But that is one way. But what we all want, forget after death and all that. Am I very happy being here right now as the beholder of this body? Okay. That I am seeing myself to be insufficient, not continuing to be happy. I am often sorrowful. I feel incomplete, uncontented. I feel myself as spatially limited. I want to be everywhere, but I am only there at one place. I want to have all knowledge, but I seem to be limited in knowledge. And then there are hundreds of emotional problems on how people look at me, how I look at myself. Why did I do this? Why didn't I do this? Why did I behave like this with somebody? Why did that person hurt me? And then why am I not, adequately resourceful? There are innumerable problems in everybody's life. And only once in a while there are flashes of happiness here and there. So unhappy, 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 then little bit happy, then unhappy, 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 then little bit happy. That is how the life is. So if that flashes of happiness was there, not there, people will not commit suicide. It's only unhappiness means why would anybody want to live? So somewhere here and there are flashes of happiness. But beyond that, I'm always unhappy. So there is a search everybody is going through to make oneself to be a happy being. I want to see myself as the always happy being. That is why I'm running around. I think by getting this car, I will be a happy person. Not that I think I will be eternally happy by just getting a car, but car is okay, car. Then if I get this promotion, if I get this much money, if I get my children educated, if this, so there are like 15, 20 things top of the agenda for everybody. We think that by doing one by one these things, then I'll be a happy being. But my experience, having lived so many years, if I just look back, I had similar wants even 15 years back, maybe different set of wants. I did fulfill most of them, but am I still happy? I'm not. So there is this seeking of gaining this happiness. That is the search that every human being is going through. So I don't want to be happy only at a particular time. I don't want to be happy only at a particular place. I don't want to be happy only with certain people. I don't want to be happy only during deep sleep. I want to be eternally happy. And that eternal happiness is what, knowingly or unknowingly, every jiva is searching. Somebody will say, no, what problem? I am happy only. Okay. Then go and ask that person some 10 questions. After sixth question, that person will slowly come. Yeah, I'm happy only, but then that all other things will come. Okay. So again, because it is innate in every jiva, human being, because every human being is self-judgmental. Because I always have a judgment about me. Because the need to know who I am is also inherently there, because I am making judgment about myself, means I am assuming that I am this. Then I am making a judgment about how I am, who I am, and all that. Because that is why human being alone goes and stands in front of the mirror. A cow doesn't stand in front of the mirror because it doesn't identify its self in a way that a human does. Because I am making conclusions about myself. Otherwise, why will I stand in front of the mirror? So I have an opinion on me. I am always concerned about myself. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. The love is always for myself. Even when I am loving my wife or children or my possessions, it is because they are related to me. It is mine. The me and mine are what is loved always. Therefore, what is the search? What is the seeking? The seeking is for the happy me. If the seeking is for happy me, now how do I get to this happy me? So I have already said, hundreds of wants are there. Just fulfilling those wants my experience shows that I'm not going to get that happy me. It is only temporary happiness. I buy a new Mercedes for 10 days, I'm happy. After that, some scratch comes and my happiness goes away. And also, you get used to it. This diminishing returns. Over time, the happiness fades. Same thing doesn't give you happiness again and again. Once you go to Ooty, you just go to the peak of the mountain from where you can see the whole vast, nature. You go up there and then, oh wow, oh, what a beautiful, I am on the top of the heaven. Okay. Second time you go, you are, this place, last time also I came. Yeah, this looked beautiful. The third time you go, you just take some pictures and send it to your friend just to show that, how happy you are there. But you are already used to the place. Fourth time, you just don't even look at it. You just go and see where some Maggie noodles is available. Okay, so that you can sit and eat there. So you want something more. Okay. So fifth time, you don't even want to go. I've seen it so many times. So that is, with everything, it's the same. The law of diminishing returns. So you know that these are not going to make you eternally happy. No, so but then search for being happy is there. Then what do you do? Go to some philosophy or religion. So they say, no. You are born here because of eternal sin. That is why our God came so that they can, take you out of this. And after death, you will go to heaven, salvaging. It's called salvation. You are condemned in this world with unhappiness. You will be salvaged and taken to heaven, where the God will keep you happy. And somebody says, happiness is in drinking alcohol and 72 whores and all that. But here, whatever you try, your body and all is very limited. It can't enjoy all this. The same thing, you come there, you will get enough of it so that you can be always happy. But happiness is defined in terms of what you are missing here and which is not fully making you happy. Yeah. Little bit alcohol is making me, but that is not making me fully happy. So when you come to heaven, there is enough of it, you can be happy. Okay, somebody says that. But it can be true, it need not be true. The problem there is, they are concluding that you cannot be happy until you die. Correct? That is a conclusion. Then only you have to say, come to heaven. See you there for you to be happy. Now, this Shastra comes and tells you that you can be happy here. Anandaha, Swarupanandaha. Then you will ask the question, how can I be happy? Here itself. Shastra says, you are already a happy Swarupa. Oh, now you are asking the question, how are you saying, I don't find myself to be happy? You are just making a statement, which is all gas. Then Shastra says, no. The you that I am telling you who you are is not the you that you think who you are. Okay. Oh, is it? So I'm not this body and all that? No. You are something else. Okay. Now, how are you saying this? You ask the Shastra. It says, no, I have to teach you. Okay. Now, this teaching, how is it taught? Not as some, like how we study mathematics, science and all that, as an objective knowledge. Because it is about you. It is about the subject, not object. So science, math, and all the history and all the deals with objective aspects. There is no science which deals with the subject. Science is in the realm of objectification. Math also are concepts again based on objective world. 5 plus 3 is 8 means what? 5 is about the number of objects that you see. So math also is an abstract elements of the objective world only. Math or science or history or geography or anything that you do is within that realm. So that education is different from the Shastra. So it is about the subject. So when it is about subject, it is not an information gathering, nor is it built upon what you know. So math is built upon what you know. I know that this is one phone, okay, and this is one plastic cover. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So it is building upon my knowledge that this is 1 and this is 1, and then saying adding these is 2, right? So it is building upon what you already know. So here the subject is not like based on the objective knowledge you have. I cannot build upon an objective knowledge and show the subject. Nor I can show you, Shastra can come and show you this is what is the subject, because this itself means it's an object. Okay. So how does this knowledge take place? Okay, is a very interesting aspect. It has to be revealed in a different way, which needs a methodology. And that methodology is called prakriya. Okay. So now we can use, and Shastra uses a neti prakriya. Yeah, there are many methodologies Shastra uses to reveal. Okay. Some methodology will click for some other methodology will click for some other people. Therefore, there are many methodologies that the Shastra uses to reveal. But it has to start. But what is this methodology? See, okay, now you will ask this question. You're saying methodology and all that. But you are saying, I cannot start from the object. You can't build upon using the objective world to arrive at the subject. All I know is only objects. How is Shastra going to teach arriving at the subject by using the objective world? This can be a question, no? So let's look at this. There is a saying that if you see the third day's moon, Moonram Virai, you will get moksha. Okay, you are supposed to see the third day's crescent after Amavasya. You should not see the fourth. You should see the third day. Now this third day's crescent is the day when crescent starts appearing. First day, Pratama and Dvitiya, it's almost impossible to spot. Very little. Third day is a little better. But if the sky is full of stars, this crescent is difficult to spot. So suppose somebody wants to be, can you show me that third day's crescent? Where is that crescent? Where is that crescent? Now you tell him, see, and that is in those stars, where in between those stars, what you see is that crescent. So this person won't understand because there are so many stars. Is it that star? He'll show that star, this star. And in the sky, where will you spot that person? Exactly, right? In 220 degrees from here, if you see, suppose you say also, that person won't understand. Then what do you say? You see that on the road, that tree there, that fourth tree, that huge tree which is there. Yeah, I see that tree. Okay, which is the fourth tree from here, where you stand. Yeah, I see the tree. Okay. On the tree, you see that branch which is protruding after the fifth branch on the right side. Yeah. Then again it goes and then it splits into two. Yeah. So between those two, you see those stars, constellation of stars. Yeah. Now on top of that star, fifth star there, do you see that crescent? Yeah, now I see. Now, where did I start the teaching? From the tree. But does the tree have anything to do with the crescent? No. So you start from what you know and show the crescent. That is called prakriya. So Shastra uses Srishti prakriya. It uses Drigdrishya Viveka prakriya. And it also uses Neti Neti iti prakriya to show who I am. But Neti Neti is negating everything. It keeps negating everything and then takes you to who you are. Now, these verses can be looked at as prakriya by bringing in how Shruti looks at each of these, and then we can use it to show what the Swarupa is. Okay. But Shruti only uses the prakriya. These verses don't have any prakriya in them. Okay. In a sense, we can say it is a neti neti prakriya. So what we have to do is, we have to bring the Shruti Vakyas and the vision, and using these verses, we can bring some relevant approaches from Shruti to reveal. And once it is revealed, then the same verses can be used for contemplation. Okay. So it's like the sutras. Okay. What are sutras? Alpaksharam, Asandigdham, Saravat Vishyato Mukham. This is how we define sutra. There is a Vyakarana Sutra, there is Brahma Sutra, there is Yoga Sutra. So there are many sutras, Kama Sutra, everything is there. Sutra means a cryptic. In those days, the knowledge was disseminated orally. Okay. There were no books and computers and that kind of stuff. And these huge things, you can't keep on writing manuscripts. And everything you can't keep on referring to so many manuscripts. So the tradition was oral tradition. So you create things and then make it in some kind of a meter so that people can memorize them. So like Veda itself is memorized over 5, 6 years, 8 years. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita and all, there is some meter, Anushtup, Trishtup and all those meters. So a person is taught. First the words are taught and then they are into people's brain. And then the meaning is later revealed. Okay, first you grain the words, then you understand the meaning, and then it goes. So Sutram, for example, I'll tell you, Atato Brahma Jignasa. So cryptic. Ataha, Ata, Ataha, Brahmanaha Jignasa. Therefore, thereafter, you seek Brahman. Okay. This is all. Now, when you say therefore, before that, thereafter means what? Something has gone before. Then only you can say thereafter. So what has gone before? After doing what? Then there is a vichara. After studying grammar, or after doing Vaidika karma, or after reaching a guru, or is it after praying to the god? What is this after? Thereafter means after what? Then vichara is done, concluded. Okay, this is what it means. And then therefore, why? The question is why. Again, that is debated, understood. And then what is this Brahman? Again, debated, understood. Then why Jignasa? Why should you know? Understood, right? Now this whole thing takes, say, 20 days, you understand. Now this whole thing again is encapsulated into this Atato Brahma Jignasa. What stays in your mind is Atato Brahma Jignasa and the knowledge which is associated with it. To gain to that knowledge, you need so many words. But finally, once the knowledge is gained, it is encapsulated back into that Atato Brahma Jignasa. That is the only word you keep in mind. So for this, these limited words, so much is expounded, and then the words are there. This is called Sutra. Okay. So what I was trying to say is, in these kind of encapsulations, the whole thing in those days, so people used to, as oral tradition, you have to simplify it, keep it to minimal words which can be kept in mind, and the whole knowledge is packed into it. That is how the knowledge dissemination happened. Okay. I don't know why I got into that. So this Atato, I was talking about Neti Neti Prakriya. Okay, so we will bring that knowledge of Shastra, and then through these words, we will look at them. Okay, and then these words are there. I was talking about contemplation. So when you go back to contemplation, the moment I say Manaha Naham, then all that knowledge which goes behind what is Manaha is there. Then you can contemplate. Okay, that is the approach. So we can use this contemplative set of verses for gaining this knowledge using Neti Neti by bringing in Vedic Prakriya. Because only through Prakriya, Veda Prakriya, you can gain the knowledge. And without gaining that knowledge, how can you use this for contemplation? Because otherwise what happens, these become mystic shlokas. Oh, I am not mind, I am not mind. I am beyond mind. And what is this beyond mind? All I know is I am mind, correct? At this time, I am not mind alone. How do I look at me? I look at me as a body, mind, sense complex, a collective of this mind, which means intellect, emotion, and recognizing me as I. All these things is mind. Then senses, which perceive this world, and then the tangible body, which helps the senses and mind, correct? By eating food, whatever. Everything else for supporting the senses and mind. Okay. Senses and mind is what make me interact to the world. And in order to support my mind and senses is how I have my heart, I have my lungs, I have my all this, food processing. Everything is happening so that my mind and senses can enjoy this world. Isn't it true? So these three all together is what I am. This is how I look at me. Right? Now you just come and say, I am not this mind. Means what? Then who am I? Then I don't even know who I am. If you say I am not this mind and body, then I don't even see anything other than that. So then it becomes mystic. There is something which is inside me, which they call a soul. Okay, which is, I don't know that now, but it is inside. Atma is inside. Means then you cut open your heart, you see this tiny Atma there. Nobody sees, neither a scientist sees, nor they can do a microscope and show any Atma. Then it becomes a belief. Like you get into a belief about your own self. That who I am something which is inside. And they say it is all pervasive also. Okay. But it is inside. It is Atma is like Gudaha, Nigudaha. It is Antaratma. It is in English books, in Vedanta books, it will be spelled with capital I. Atma with a capital A. Small a is Jivatma, capital A is Paramatma. And that Paramatma is inside. So then all mysticism. I am not Buddhi. No, I am not mind. I am not Ahankara, but I am something else inside. Now I contemplate. What do you contemplate? Some notion, right? So without a recognition of what I am, the contemplation is meaningless. It is purely mysticism. It is again a belief, faith that something is there, and that each person has his or her own imagination of who I am. So there is no clarity. So there is a lack of jnana. Okay. And 90% of people, including those who consider themselves as teachers, they also have this complete vagueness, and they also talk in mystic terms. The person who says he knows doesn't know. The person who says doesn't know only knows. Eh? This statement. Now this is all mystic. See, again, these have these are meant to reveal something about Atma Swarupa. Okay. But that nobody recognizes, understand. They think, they literally take it. And then if somebody comes and says that I know the Brahman, I'll teach you, they'll say, you are saying you know, that means you don't know. Okay. Now, if the person who says I don't know knows, means what? 99.99% in the world will say I don't know what is Atma. Does that mean they all know? So we have to apply some brain here. Okay. So it means something else. Again, everything is considered mystic because people don't understand. Those who teach also are putting a mystic spin. Those who listen also look at it in a very mystic fashion. The whole thing is confusion. Okay, the entire Vedanta, modern Vedanta, is confusion. Nobody understands what is Atma. Then they don't understand what is the context of religion in the Atma, in when the Atma is Brahman. Why should you pray to Bhagavan? Why is the God there? Is really a God there? And why all these rituals are there? If everything is Brahman, then why are you doing Shraddha? If everything is Brahman, then why are you doing puja? Then all this confusion. Then they'll say this is for lower level people who don't understand. But I am a Vedanti. This is another problem. Because I am greater than thou. All these stupid religious ritualistic people, I don't even look at them. I am Vedanti. I am looking at Brahma Vichara. And that is another foolishness. Okay. Because they don't understand. They don't understand what is Smriti, what is Smartha Puja. That Smartha Puja, if you understand properly, you are already Mukta, I am telling you. Because it is all one vision. So this is the problem. And therefore everything becomes mysticism. Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta. I am neither the mind nor the intellect. If you literally take, this is what it means. I am not the mind. I am Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta, Ninaham. Nacha Shrotra Jihve. Nacha Grana Netre. न च व्योम भूमिः न तेजः न वायुः चिदानन्दरूपः शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम्. I am the Shiva. I am Mangala Swarupa. I am Chid Ananda Rupa. What does it mean? I don't understand. I am Shiva means what? The God Shiva is sitting in me? Or this body and the whole thing, is it Shiva? What is this Chidananda Rupa? I don't know. Then what is this Manaha? I am not Manaha. I am not Buddhi. Then again some mystic. I am some Shiva. Mysticism. Because I don't understand what all this is. But literal meaning I know. Here it says, I read any book, it will say, I am not mind. Oh, I am not mind. I believe. Because this book says, no, Shankaracharya said means, yeah, it should be some meaning. So I am not mind. Okay, I am not mind. Okay, sir, thank you. I am not intellect. Oh, okay, I am not intellect, intelligence. Okay. I am not ego. Okay, I am not ego. I am not ears. Yeah, I know I am not ears. Ears is my body only. Yeah. So then, who am I? Shiva. Oh, I am Shiva. This is, I mean, somebody who doesn't understand, that's how they look at it, right? Then this whole thing becomes a mystic prayer. Okay. Which is okay to start with. Somebody who is becoming away from materialistic, you are at least coming and sitting and doing this. But to make it effective as a contemplation, You need to look at it saying, how am I not the mind? Okay. Because mind is my conclusion about me is through my mind. I see the world through my mind. I am reading this through my mind. I am listening to this and assimilating it through my mind and intellect. So that is the first, even though I can say this is my body, I am this body and all that, but almost everybody thinks that they are this mind, right? Your identity of who you are is within the mind. Mind is the first thing. If I don't have the mind, I won't even be saying I am this body. Even to say that I am this body, I need a mind intellect, correct? So that means I am the mind intellect is the first step. So if you eliminate, to eliminate that I am not this mind, it needs tremendous knowledge, okay? And very powerful knowledge to say I am not this mind. See, I can always say I am not this ears, I am not the sky, because I never confuse myself with the sky. I never said I am this earth. Did I ever say? So why do you have to come and say I am not this earth? But to say that I am not this mind is a courageous statement, right? That's why it starts with manaha naham. I am not this mind. So that is very important. Then we have to find what is this mind. And is this mind known through eye cognition or is the mind known through this cognition? So once you understand that part, if the mind is known through this cognition as this, like this cell phone, is mind known as this or is the mind known as I? When that vichara is done, if the mind falls in this cognition, then you can say, though I have some connection with the mind, this mind, I seem to be different from this mind because I am able to objectify this mind. Okay. Then I can move myself away from the mind. Otherwise, I can never move myself. Now, that is the vichara. Okay. The Shastra looks at the mind. There are many places where the mind is spoken about, like Mandukya, then even Taittiriya Upanishad. So it looks at the mind. What is this mind? Okay. And Yoga Sutra also looks at the mind. What is the mind? Then Nyaya, Tarka, it also defines what mind is. And our modern science also looks at mind. Now we have to look all of that. So what I'm trying to do, I think we are getting to the end of the session. The next session, let's look at what is mind. Okay. So I created some slides. Okay. There is a science view of what is mind. Okay. Then there is a yogic view of what is mind, chitta. And then there is a Shastra view. Tattvabodha talks about what is mind. And then Tarka Sangraha, again another darshana, which also looks at what is mind. Okay. And then Vedanta looks at mind. So I try to assemble some of these thoughts. Then let's look at all of it in the next session. And then see what is this mind. Okay. Once you recognize this, then we can assimilate this knowledge. Okay. So we will progress it that way. I don't think everything doesn't need equal amount of discussion, right? Like I said, for me to say I am not this earth, you don't need big vichara. Okay. Only to the extent that this body is made up of panchabhuta. So now I can dismiss that. Okay. That I am not, once I have dismissed I am not this body, then this I am not panchabhuta also we can be dismissed easily. Okay. But certain things like I am not manaha, I am not dvesharaga, I am not my punya papa, I am not mrityu, all that needs some discussion. And finally, who am I? That is said in the last verse. Aham nirvikalpaha nirakara rupa. So what is nirvikalpatvam? What is akaram? What is nirakaram? All this we have to finally understand. But before we arrive at who I am, we have to see who I am not. And those are the first 5 verses. So we will look at it in this fashion. So basically, to summarize, what are we trying to do? This is a contemplation text. But before we contemplate, we have to understand what it means. And in order for us to understand what it means, we need to bring Shruti perspective, Vedic perspective, Prakriya. Using the Prakriya, we will understand what each of those verses mean. And then we will recapitulate it so that it becomes a contemplative set of verses. Okay, that is how we'll approach this. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.